Welcome to another cold night on the Dread Planet in Project Eden for Empyrion Galactic Survival. In the last part, we started knocking together a very basic CV. You can see how basic it actually is. And since the end of the video, I've built up the main outside structure. And I've also fished out a pentaxid tank here to be able to test the fit. If I come over here, turn the light on so we can actually see what we're doing. If I stand near the fence here, we should be inside of the teleporter range or wireless range. I've actually pulled off one warp drive, so we only really need the one. And if I put that in there, and just to show you what we're going to do is probably put it in back about there so we can keep away from the radiation. I'm not going to put it in straight away because a warp drive like this, it needs to drop down below like that. A warp drive like this actually is about 40,000 points. Just to show you here, just come in here and cancel it. You'll see that the warp drive is 40,000 CPU. And if I come up and show you the ship here, I've put a couple of armored doors in to give me a side entrance here. Oops. So many times I've managed to get in here first time, and now I'm actually recording. I can't get in the door. That's crazy. Maybe I get rid of the. Sometimes if you've got a gun on, it won't let you in, because the gun kind of sticks in the way. Now, if I show you here, we've now got to 124,000. So effectively, I've got about another 24,000 left, or a bit more. Before we get to 160,000. Actually, my mouse is 36,000 actually, isn't it? Get to 160,000, but we've got a lot more kit to fit in. And what I want to do in this part is we're going to get the ship set up in its basic configuration, and then what we will do is fly over to the up here, this one here. Because to try and save a bit of space, what I'd like to do is put some small thrusters on, but there's no small thrusters on this ship here. So the idea is that I'm going to get a few more blocks, build out the front, put a cockpit in. I went over, the cockpit is actually in that ship over there, and I went over and got it. And then what we'll do is we'll fly over there and see if we can get the small thrusters. Because if I can put small thrusters for the downward push, because let me just see if I think I should be able to show it to you in here. We show you here that the small thrusters for a capital vessel are 5,336 CPU. These medium thrusters are 13,000. Two of these small thrusters is still less. I mean, it's got less power, but when you're braking or pushing down, you don't really need these big thrusters, these medium thrusters. Now what we will have to do is put medium thrusters on to be able to move the ship. But the first thing I want to put on is a... Where is it? I can't remember where it is now. It's not in the capital vessel, it's in the small vessel. Oh, it's actually in my inventory. Is what we're going to do is put in an O2 station in here, because I've got O2 tanks. Now the question is, where can I put... I could probably just put the O2 tank station over here, can't I? I mean, I have the O2 station one side, and then if I put a med bay the other side, I'll probably go up and get a med bay, because the idea is that I see it's getting a bit cold. Just have to go and just drag this over a little bit here. And what I would like to do now is under main oxygen. We got 5,000 odd oxygen. If we can pull this into the capital vessel or the wireless connector, and this might be a bit shaky, isn't it? Let me just see if this will work. 5,000, and I don't think the 97 will come out anyway. Here we are. And we've got 97 left in there. Each one of these tanks is 250. I want to try something. Let's have a quick look. This is 75. So 2 of those is I don't think it's going to be worth it, is it? 50. Sometimes if you put in a bit of extra, actually, let me just see. Let me just come into here, manage oxygen. We got 97, so we would need 153 to put in here. I put in 1 small bottle. I don't think it's going to be really worth the effort, to be honest. Maybe later on I'll do this. And of course, what we can do now is if we come right. So what we can do now is, actually we're too far away. Let me just come in here. We get the unescaped. Yeah, there. Well, it's actually in the capital vessel, so we should be okay. And then if I go to oxygen, how much is? I mean, we've got to be a little bit careful. So we can get all of it in here. So that means now I've got. Oh, well, I better use it straight away. Actually, well, I have to change the shape of this door. I think I can take the hint game. What we'll do is we'll just come in here, pull the block off, and we put it this way. I mean, it's gonna make it look a bit cumbersome, but can't keep just messing around here. Of course, we've got no power. Okay, so what we're going to need to do now is put in a little bit of fuel. We need to power up the boat, power it up a little bit, and I can fill my oxygen up. Of course, we've only got a tiny amount of power in here, so I can pull the power cells off. I think before we try and move this thing, I need some more blocks anyway to push this front out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just pick this up so I don't forget it. And then we'll get into a little tiny ship here. Power on. And I think what I want to do is go up and get the... I've got no spotlight available. Keep getting that. We go up. We're looking for the hole again. There it is. What I would like to get from here is the mid bay. I'll level off a little bit. There's a mid bay just inside this entrance here. Kind of nudge the ship like this. I should be able to pick it up directly, but give it a go. Okay, we're gonna have to get into here, hook it to there, and then and obviously the med bays are a little bit thicker than or heavier than the oxygen stations. Got ourselves a med bay. I wouldn't mind the heavy tricycle landing gear as well that's in this ship, but I think we may have to come back for that. Yes, I know. Okay. I wouldn't mind some more blocks actually. I need about another 10 or 12, so if we land on here, yeah, just like drop down and land here. Now, most of the blocks here are concrete, but this is a bit more safer than balancing on the top of the ship. Let me see, we're still hooked to got 5 at the moment. Can't hang around here too long, simply because the low temperatures out. We just that 8. Make sure we're retrieving blocks. What about another 10 blocks? And we're just going to take a little bit more off the top. If we keep knocking it down like this, we'll be okay. Okay, stop complaining. Take these off the top. And maybe a couple more. That should be enough for the moment. One more. Okay. And then we'll just... Yes, I know I'm outside the remote statistics. Level off. Get back to... There it is. Poster mark 2. I mean, there's just so much loot on this planet. I think somebody actually posted a comment and said about they got enough to build a really good ship in the workshop. And that kind of gave me the idea that what I would like to do is get enough loot from here to be able to build a decent SV in the workshop. So even if we don't get to level 10, I'll have the resources in the workshop to do what I need to do. We'll just come around here. It's only 1 degree, so I have to kind of put our get back out by the fence here and into here. Not done with the small vessel on the unescaped rocket. Got the mid bay. Got that on that side. So we'll just tuck in the... Turn that round a little bit. That means that we've now got the necessary protection here. Or should I be clumsy and fall off of something or die? And what I'll do is just push this out a little bit at this level. And you can see I've kind of pushed this out in a bit of a curve here. And I want to come out far enough to make a reasonable cockpit. And oops, so that the ship has some sense of proportion and style, even if it does look awful. And I think maybe we'll just kind of give it a little bit of a... I mean, there's a good chance it will change over time, even before we leave the planet. At the moment, this is just literally get me off the ground type territory at the moment. I think maybe we'll give it a little bit more shape on this side. What I should be doing now is actually using the symmetry plane, but I think I'm just not doing enough really to justify the symmetry plane, to be honest. It's not like I'm major components, and I think we can just kind of come back a little bit like that. Yeah, I've got this. What we could do is just come in a little bit on this side like that, and then okay, I think we'll just put in one of these here on that, so it will at least look like it's blending in on each side, even if it's not really. In fact, I'll put one up here like that. Rotate it like that. I mean, I've got 7 blocks left, so. And then we're putting a Put solid blocks there. We've now got what you could call the basic shape of the front. I mean, I'm not too sure why capital vessels always seem to need to, how can you say, taper towards the front. I mean, technically you could build a completely, yes, I know, thank you, game. Actually, what I wouldn't mind getting from here, I think we're in a position now where we could get out all the remaining fuel as well. 15,000 fuel. We'll take everything. Actually, no, let's take about 5,000 fuel at the moment. I mean, that's a lot of fuel. See, that's 166 promethium packs. And I mean, there's also other resources underneath here because I haven't fully kind of gone through all these, and this area here as well. I'm sure there's still, see, we've still got ones over here, although some of them are empty. So what I really need to do is take them apart so I know which ones I've done and which ones I haven't done. So let me just get onto here. Probably need to do something a little bit about this door, but I mean, we can do that in the future. Again, we're just going to go to fuel. Capital vessel. Right. Can probably put in. I might also just top it up as much as I can. Somewhere in here is the. Probably not going to be able to pick it up with the thing. So what we have to do is vessel, come back to capital vessel, hook you up here, up the cockpit. I think probably for the purposes of this, we'll just go for the basic. And now comes the moment of truth. Wow. Made a mistake. Well, a kind of mistake in the sense that I've got no down thrusters, so we're gonna have to be a little bit inglorious here and kind of do a bit of a kind of downward crash there. Yeah, I forgot completely. I've got no braking thrusters and had no down thrusters, but I got away with it. I'm probably not as close as I would like to be, so that could be an issue. There is a way I can do this. Give myself a little bit more control, which is what I was intending to do, but I forgot completely all about it. This would be a case of not how to do it. What you do is you just put one in there and oops, down like that. I mean, it's going to be a bit lopsided, but what I should do now is, because I've got a braking thruster and a down thruster, we should have maneuverability now. I mean, it's we got. And what I should be able to do now is just get in really close. The down thrusters a little bit, probably a little bit too close to the ship. I say this isn't going to win any awards for maneuverability. In pretty close to where I want to be. Wow, quite high actually. A little bit higher than, I don't know, just seems a bit higher than what it should be. And what I want from here, if I can keep in the logistics range of the, okay, we're still within logistics range of the capital vessel. Now, as far as I know, this is called, yep, it falls there. What I want from here is these small thrusters. That's a regular thruster. I'm sure this ship had more thrusters on it. Have I come to the wrong ship? Absolutely sure this had more thrusters. Okay, let me just... Yeah. Yeah, it's got 2 small thrusters. Where are they? 2 regular... Oh, it's only got 2 small thrusters on it. It's gonna be annoying. Okay. Small thrusters. How high up are you? I suppose you're gonna be a little bit... No, you're only in here somewhere. I want... I have to deconstruct these hardened steel blocks. I don't really want them. Okay, so... Just take out these... So here's the... What are you? You're regular thrusters. Where's the small thruster? There's the 2 small thrusters. Okay. Turn you off. And we're just going to retrieve out these. I was absolutely sure this had 4 small thrusters on it. So what we're going to have to do is take out these medium thrusters. Like that. I mean, I don't want to waste them. So we're just going to kind of snag them out. I mean, these hardened steel blocks are very tempting, but at the same time, I don't really want to do it. I think we'll take the... We might as well strip all the thrusters from here. Got that. Anything else here that's got another cockpit? We've got a couple of small generators. We've got some fuel tanks. That's what we got here. I saw some retractable landing gear. Oh, look at this. Heavy landing gear. Where's this? I certainly wouldn't mind that landing gear. Where's the landing gear? Up here. Just turn off the... Already got a couple of white tags hanging around, courtesy of a mistake I made earlier on in the last video. Don't want any more. We've got a heavy landing gear. A couple of small ones down here. Take these out. And there should probably going to be one on the other side. There it is. Oops. Just hooked a steel block. Wait. Why am I taking out the steel blocks? Oops, I've just blown a bit off the ship. Just take that. Oh, these are hardened blocks. Again, I don't want them. I'd rather have the steel blocks, but the trouble is I don't want to destroy the integrity of the ship. Although, what we got here? Oh, we've got some glass here. Certainly wouldn't mind this, because we've got to put ourselves a front cockpit in. So if we can get some of this out, that will give me the components for a cockpit. The other thing I also wouldn't mind is some elevator blocks. Take you. I think that's the only one in here, isn't it? Because I'd like to have an elevator up through the center of the ship so that I can do it. Going through a lot of oxygen very quickly. This side, I actually did it straight in. Just power again. Turn the power on. Kind of double pump it this time. So we've now got this here. I've got 2 minor thrusters. Actually, what's the CPU at the moment with these 2 thrusters on? They're up to 151,000. These medium thrusters are just so big. I mean, it's literally going to blow my... And the alternative is that I go out, find bases, destroy them, and then we can get to level 10. We're going to take this one off. I don't want that. I want the... Wait. Out there. Retrieve you. Preview. And then if I can find, where's the more thrusters? I think what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little bit of a go with 2 small thrusters. And I think if I put them roughly in the, say on the center line like that, and out on the center line, well, we can soon find out if I come in here. Okay, where did all those steel blocks? I've only got 3 steel blocks. Okay, I thought I pulled out more steel blocks than that. 2, 3. And then what I need is a braking thruster. And I could put one... I mean, that's the center line. What's behind this? Make sure I'm retrieving. Got a kind of bit of a gap here, but what I could do is just for the moment we just have to put in something, put one in like that. That would give me a braking thruster underneath a lift thruster and 2 down thrusters. Let's see how we fly with that. Probably not at all, but might as well. Let me just adjust the visibility so we got a little bit more. So forward, back. We got forward, back, and range. And it's a little bit sluggish on the down with just the 2 thrusters, but I think we'll be okay. So what I really need to do now is just try and enclose this cockpit, enclose the ship a little bit. I wouldn't mind a shower, actually. Let me just... Where is the power base? The power base is over there. Because the CV is now going to become our operational base, so I think we can now come down here. One of there, switch the power off there. Try and conserve a little bit of that power. Be careful not to kind of just launch myself off the top. Come in here. We've got some... These might not fit on the ship. So it's not perfect. Let me just get into here. What we should be able to do now, if I break that. Cargo box 1. Right, we've got some spoiled food and stuff like that. So what we can do is we're going to take everything out of here and put into, because we're effectively going to be moving on now. At the moment we've only got the one storage capability, so everything's going to have to go into here, whether I like it or not. We'll just rip out everything from here. Let me just make sure we've got everything. I mean, I'll probably take all this apart eventually, so that's the surplus for that. I don't think we got anything in the fridge. Nope. I do need from here, I don't know what I'm walking around with the gun with. So we're going to need to pull out, got some more oxygen, water. I think what I would do is we'll take out these, and I'm just going to let this one run. It runs out of power. Let me pick up another constructor. We'll pick up, aha, okay, and fire everything out of here. Get you up and put that there. And what I want from here is the shower. If I can find it. That was this way. These actually, can I, if I hook this up to fire capital vessel, you up there. I just want to see if I can use these on the capital vessel. I can never remember whether if all the blocks are actually something that you can use on both capital vessels and bases. Let me just see. Yep, the windows are... We're going to take the windows. And what I want to do is get in here. Wardrobe, this is what I want. Retrieve the shower for radiation protection. Take some of these windows. And of course we can take some of the steel blocks if we can find them. A little bit of extra. I certainly want the fridge and the food processor and the armor locker. They should fit onto the capital vessel as well. I'm not too worried about the ventilator, but we'll take it just in case. Of course, the other thing I really want is this large constructor. See where I'll be able to get this out. And possibly the small generator as well. We don't really need the capacitor. Probably just break that down for spares. Small O2 tank, we'll take that as well. Yeah. I've got everything I want now. Of course, still got it cored, so... Right, let's just get in here. Why can I get in on this side of the ship and not the other side of the ship? So, got the core here. I'm a little bit inclined to just pad this floor out a little bit so that I don't need to walk up the side of the ship. Right, I think what... Now this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky, because I would like to put in the large constructor as well, and the fridge. We don't really need the food processor, but I wouldn't mind the armor locker as well. What we may have to go for is a kind of mix and match solution, in the sense that what we're going to do is I'd like to bring this forward like that. And that'll give me the... Yeah, we may have to go for a kind of mix match type solution where I put things out as and when I need them. I think I got any steel blocks. Yeah, we got 4 steel blocks, so if I put in 1, 2, 3, just like that, and then we can... What I could do is put... kind of tuck the fridge in there. Oops. I say not that I need a fridge, it's just that we might as well put it in there. We'll put an armor locker there. And what I could do is put a block in front so that I can walk up, get to the front here. And of course, what we need to do now is block in all this area here. If I can nick out some more blocks. Few steel blocks. We might as well just use what we've got here. Don't really need light. We'll just salvage that for spares. Just take this out. taking out the steel blocks. We'll break down the... Oops, no. I would take that there, but we'll break down the fuel tanks. And we'll just retrieve some more blocks. Got here, yeah, just keep taking them off the top here. We'll salvage the small solar panels for base resources. What we got here? It says horizontal. Okay, it's another solar panel. Just retrieve some more blocks. And just grab you. Okay, we're getting out of range now. Oops. Going through quite a lot of these multi-charges, so we have to keep an eye on that as well. Ah, oops. Ah. Okay, thank you, game. Right, let's just get back to the ship, because I'd want to kind of enclose the ship in, so that it's got some kind of integrity. I think probably with this time I am going to put in the symmetry plane. Drop it there, about there. On the center line anyway. Oops. Always the fun bit. When you make a mistake, you make it twice. What I'd like to do is just fill in this bit here. I do need some elevators coming up. Probably somewhere around here. The door's there, so maybe about here. Because I want to put the SV for what it is on top. Where's the base gone? Everything's gone green. And we'll just do some more blocks. I mean, the front I'm not too worried about at the moment. I'm just would like just to get the main kind of shell built out. Oops. Oh. Not that. We just take all this apart. Oops, don't want concrete. And keep your concrete. Don't waste resources on... It's the steel blocks I'm after. Okay, just take you. I want to destroy anything destroyed is a little bit. Keep taking these out. No, I don't want to weigh the ship down with lots and lots of kind of big gear. Probably the flight. Okay, thank you. Losing contact with your drone. Yes, I know. Let me just see if we do this row here. Oops, concrete. Ah, just got a concrete block. What's that there? Well, we'll just decompose it. These are lights, actually. Ooh. Well, the grow lights are tempted, but no, I think we'll just get them for the optical fibre. I mean, grow lights aren't particularly that difficult to manufacture. Just do this little bit here. Just fly back here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. 32 blocks. Because what we could do is put the ventilator in as well. Although, to be completely honest, I've got no real plans to pressurize the ship. What I'm really more interested in at the moment is, I mean, as long as we got oxygen in the ship, I can keep walking back and just picking up the various bits and pieces. And I think we can come forward. Yeah, I think we're come back 2 more rows this way, like this. And then what's the height on the here? Oh, we can't. I mean, I could go up a little bit, create more of a bit of a cockpit effect here. Well, we've got to come out this way, so we'll run out of blocks again. Okay, let's just turn off the symmetry plane because we're going to move. So let's have a look at the CPU. Yeah, we're 169,000 now. So we're over the limit of the thing, and of course you can see here it's the large constructor. So at the moment we've got the option of, should I want to leave the planet now? Strictly speaking, we could leave the planet now, because if I put the pentaxid in, let me see, let me capital vessel this side, go to pentaxid tank on this side, and then all 43 in. Probably put the, can't put the, so technically now if I can encase the ship and say, technically now if I encase the ship so that I don't die in the coldest space, so we're gonna have to complete the front of the ship here. But what I should be able to do now is, we've got the pentaxid tank, we've got, if I take out the large constructor and put in the warp drive, we could leave. But I'm not quite ready to leave yet because, well, partly because I've got to build the front of the ship. It's going to be a little bit of an issue. So we need to finish that off. But at the same time, I'd like to do a bit more exploring, and if I'm mobile, the way I'm thinking is that if I'm mobile and I've got the protection, I've got the oxygen, we've still got 21 food packs. What I could do is go out and find more bases, destroy the cores, and then we could get to level, and that would be a very quick way to get to level 10. So that's partly what I'm thinking at the moment. Go and just top our oxygen up. Okay, power on first. Remember, a little sniff of oxygen, and of course, you have to be a bit careful with. I didn't put the shower in, did I? Okay. Because of course we got the thrusters there, so we're going to be a little bit. Got heat stroke. Okay. Let me just see. Yes, it's one of the hazards of here is the fact that the everything is a little bit. All the thrusters are very close in this ship. It's the problem I had with the flying toaster as well. Where is the shower? I'm sure I picked there. I think showers come under furnishings, don't they? Where is it? Toilet, shower. I think if I probably put the shower. I would like to have it somewhere where it's readily accessible. I think maybe if we just drop it, we'll just drop it in front of the core there. It means that if necessary, I can just tap it that way, see, like that. That reduces radiation, and it should cool me down as well. So we got the shower there, and what we need, I think I've run out of blocks, haven't I? We got 4 concrete blocks. We can trash those. I don't really need those. We don't need that there. I could probably put the ventilator in just in case. So where I'd put it, I don't like to know. I mean, the ship's going to be completely open, so what I could do is quite lit. I mean, how much? What's the CPU for a ventilator? moment the CPU is 169,953, and we've just put the ventilator at the back here. Ventilator is nothing, so we can just leave the ventilator in. Yeah, it's only one CPU, so well, you can see the big stuff is these thrusters, the large constructors. This is the reason why I was hoping to find some more small thrusters. I think rather than mess about here, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the what we call it. It's back over to here. Actually, I think what I am going to do is we've got our oxygen base over here. Where is it? Should be able to see it. There it is there. What we'll do is we'll go and get the oxygen from the oxygen base now, because we don't need this such, and there's also a big pile of nice resources here. We should be able to get actually there's something else I need to do. Let's let the ship hover. It should hover okay. And where's the landing gear? Put some landing gear on this contraption. If we go for a tricycle landing gear, I don't want anything that's too high. Actually, we could possibly save some blocks here, couldn't we? If I say, for example, if I take that block out there, say there. Actually, if I take that block out there. We can retrieve that block there. Oops. I'll just take out an O2 tank, or is that just a optical illusion? I'd be really annoyed if I took out an O2 tank. And then I can drop that there. And then if we come back to stay level with the thruster here, and I can get take out 2 blocks back here on each side. One there. One there. And then and then we'll just put you in here. There. And there. What we should be able to do now is when we land. Where am I? Not where I am. Oh, there I am. What happen is that when we land, we should extend the landing gear and kind of cant it over slightly, which is a little bit annoying. Just see if the landing gear, yeah, the landing gear is extended. Oh, well, that explains why we're canted over a little bit, because we've not landed in a flat area, but that's okay. And whoops. And what we're going to do first is out all the oxygen from here. I don't think there's that much oxygen left now. We've only got 1,319 in here. We've got a little bit more oxygen, and what we can do now is just strip out everything of value from here. Well, we're okay for carry capacity at the moment. I mean, I've got plenty of oxygen tanks everywhere, so I think what we can do is just take these apart for salvage and resources. What I'm really after is the cobalt alloy, because that would be quite a useful resource going forward. And of course, we'll pick up the steel plates there. Bit of a generator in the center here. We'll just take you out. Take the small generator. The components. We'll just strip you out here. Take you out. Wait. I want you. Then long as these are they're concrete, so concrete, concrete, concrete. What we'll do is just salvage the core. Be a couple of more computers and stuff. So what we got here? Whoops. Propping this up. I don't think we really need that. Just cargo box here. I don't remember actually checking it. Oh, okay. Missed that, didn't I? We got the cargo box. Anything else of value here? Nope. So, got to get into here. Back up to here. Open the ship. Power on. Level off. Off we go. I think if we go back to here. Yeah, the ship's got a slightly lopsided approach. But you've got to remember part of that could be due to the fact that the what we call it, the large constructor is on one side. Here, power off again. I think we can probably just skip off the top here. Thruster to a little bit far away, but I think we can get under here and just pick out. Be outside the. Okay, no, we're still in range of the. And I've just noticed the time. I'm starting to go over long with this video, so this is where I'm going to leave it. What I'll do off camera is I will gather up some more steel blocks, and I'll build in the front of the ship here off camera, because you can see that all I need to do is bring in this cockpit. Then that will set us up for going out and, well, grabbing some more loot, looting down some more stuff. Obviously there's a limit to how much we can carry. I would certainly like to go out and explore the planet and see if we can find some more bases so we can destroy 10 more cores. There are a couple around here that still need the cores destroyed. But so until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.